Hey, welcome back. This is Cavallo from datingadviceguru.com. Where else? Today we're going to talk about the number one reason that men pull away and how to keep them interested. Okay, in my 14 years of coaching men, I discovered the precise reason that guys pull away from their girlfriends and spouses. Now, every woman has experienced this jarring panic at some point or another in their relationship. It's stressful and it probably created a gray hair or two. Don't worry, I'm not going to tell anybody you yanked them out. Now, it may have happened suddenly, taking you totally by surprise, or it might have taken some time before rearing its ugly head on you. Either way, it feels terrible when he pulls away, and you need to know how to see it coming before it happens to you. So I'm going to count down the 5 real reasons why he acts this way, and then we'll get to the number one reason why he does it. Number 5 is he's feeling out of himself. What I mean by this is he's not feeling like he's all man at the moment. Why is this? Well, you have to keep in mind that there are certain things that a guy has to feel and think in order to feel like a real man. He has to feel competent. He's got to feel like he's good at what he does. He's got to feel like he's decisive. He's a decision maker. He's got to feel solid. He has to feel like he's made of steel and concrete, like he's unshakable. He's got to feel uplifting. Yes, he has to feel like he has the power to lift other people up and motivate them. And he has to feel self-reliant. He's got to feel like he's in charge of his world and his life. Ultimately, that last one is a big scare for many women because women want to feel connected and a part of his life, including his problems. But men don't work like that, and fighting it is creating anxiety for you and probably pushing him away. Reason number 4 is he's stressed out. Men need to feel in control of their lives. Extra stress taxes a man and it makes him pull away from his relationship. Now, the reason isn't that you can't help him or he doesn't love you. This is what a lot of people, actually a lot of women assume, by the way, when they run into this problem. He has to feel like he's handled the source of his stress. Stress pulls every man's focus away from his relationship because it's like he's trying to chew bubble gum that's flavored like bologna. Ugh, yeah, it's weird. It's too weird of a mix. And that's what it feels like for a man emotionally, like chewing bologna bubblegum. Now, later, when you two are more committed and closer, after you've gotten the commitment, and of course use my commitment tips, you won't have this problem as much. He might be quiet, but he'll be more connected to you. Okay, reason number 3 is he's dealing with a few challenges. This one is kind of related to the last reason. A friend of mine used to tell me that a man can have 1 or 2 challenges, but 3 is really the maximum. After that, he has to deal with them, and he has to manage them. And a lot of guys have to withdraw in order to tackle major life challenges. Some guys pull the plug completely and get distant if he has only 1 or 2 challenges going on. Either way, don't push too hard on him. Just be there for him as much as you can, but don't apply pressure because he's already feeling enough of that. Reason number 2 is he's feeling smothered. Guys are very protective of their freedom. This doesn't mean he needs to be non-monogamous, something else a woman tends to interpret about this particular masculine need. It doesn't mean he needs to see other people. See, a man fears losing his independence more than anything else. He could lose his money, his keys, his wallet, his best friend, and he can make a quick recovery. But no man wants to lose his freedom. It's precious to him. And if he seems to be giving it over to you quickly, well, that should be a warning sign to you as a woman. So now that you know some of these reasons that he's acting this way, you're probably wondering what would be the number one reason that a man pulls away. Well, it's not something that most women understand, let alone know how to identify. The reason that most women don't see the number one reason is that they're usually busy dealing with the feelings of anxiety that it provokes in you. A woman is geared toward feeling connected to her world. This includes her friends, her family, and her social network, and her man. When that connection is threatened or it's severed, it puts her in a state of high alert and anxiety. Your connections are literally your lifeline to other people. A full 80% of your brain, probably more like 90 to 95% of it, is wired to do nothing but keep your social life vibrant and alive. So what is the number one reason he pulls away from you? Why do men grow cold and distant, and why do guys withdraw? The number one reason is that the chase got reversed on him. What happened was that somewhere in the natural process of courtship, he felt that you two were a done deal, that he'd won you. You see, a man needs one thing in his relationship, and it's the one thing that most women don't know, and, well, they don't want, honestly. In fact, you're probably working really hard to eliminate this from your relationship. Do you want to know what it is? Because it's killing the love between you and him. I've seen it time and time again, and it's the biggest destroyer of relationships. The number one thing a man needs is uncertainty. Yep, you heard me right. Uncertainty creates a certain kind of suspense, as in will they or won't they? Here are just a few of the top will they or won't they's from television. Remember back in the 90s or 80s or whatever the heck it was, there was Remington Steele, Pierce Brosnan and Stephanie Zimbalist. On True Blood, it was Eric and Sookie. On The Muppet Show, yeah, Kermit and Miss Piggy. I know, two puppets, kind of creepy, but whatever. Sex and the City, Mr. Big and Carrie. The Office, Moonlighting, The X-Files, Cheers, Sam and Diane, the list could go on forever. Will they or won't they get together? And I haven't even mentioned the biggest one of all in the last 20 years. Remember the show Friends? The huge will they or won't they was what? Rachel and Ross. It's kind of a cliche on television because it's a shameless manipulation, but it works. And all those examples prove the point. We need suspense in our relationships to drive up the passion and the chemistry. Of course, a woman eventually needs the commitment to become real. You get tired of the will they or won't they, and you need to know where this is going. And so does the man, believe it or not. But if you make things too secure, too established, in the hopes of luring him into making a commitment, well, you run the risk of short-circuiting his interest because there's not enough uncertainty. Remember, a man's insecurities about whether you were into him or not was what drove him to chase you in the first place. You want him chasing you. Don't get him to give it up too soon. Don't you give it up too soon. Right now, you might be in a relationship and you want to know if you've gotten him good and hooked. If you want a man to love you, you've got to create a real connection to him. Just click the link you see below this video. And of course, always, always, always subscribe to these videos so you keep getting them every week. Hello. Like this video and post your comments below. And I'll be back again next week with more of these dating secrets to open his heart. This is Carlos Cavallo from datingadviceguru.com. As always, live and love with passion.